Hi everyone, welcome back, and today we continue with Sublime REPL development. My address will be okay. Okay, tweeted. You probably need Safari. This dashboard. Check that we are live. We are live. Viewers. Yet, but it doesn't matter. We got recording, great. So it's all should be good. Okay, so where we ended up. So since last time I discovered the Tatcane, the existing plugin for Sublime Clojure, does support inline evaluation, right? So I mentioned it somewhere in here, probably that it doesn't. Let's REPL, the friendly control evaluation, REPL feature, requires over tab, because colors of syntax. Yeah, okay, so I didn't mention, but it does have pro can results. Okay, so let me show you how it works. It's kind of connect Clojure localhost 5555. Okay, here we are, and wait. Okay, yeah, I have no idea what's going on, why it doesn't work. Oh yeah, because the syntax, yes, you need syntax. So we need syntax.key Clojure. Yeah, now it will probably evaluate. Yeah, it evaluates. Okay, cool. So you see it, it shows result here, but if you go, I think I switched it off, but if you go to their website, they have this, and to have this you need to add a key binding. You cannot do it from commands, which seems kind of strange, but you'll probably do this anyway. So let's Ctrl+C delay, and you see the results is shown right here, right next to your code, which is better, I suppose. Yeah, we let it range, and now we're stuck. Okay. Yeah. This is... I can actually interrupt. No, we can't. Disconnect. Okay, we need to reconnect again. Doesn't remember report. Again, small things, right? This is your range, which again, by displaying it here, but this is super weird. So I press down here, and I go immediately to the end of the file, which is super weird. Okay, so I'm glad I'm not using this stuff. It doesn't highlight brackets the way I like. So yeah, and you see, for some reason, right here. Well, yeah. Anyways, so what it does is it can show you results, but you still have a separate window. So I have REPL here, right? I have stdout from my REPL session here, not here, and I have my editor, so it's like 3 panels, which is kind of too much for me, in my opinion. It is based on streaming protocol, so if, for example, I try to evaluate something like this, you see, now my REPL is stuck, so if, like, until I evaluate closing bracket, it won't, wait, what? Whatever, so it's very weird, right? So this is not what I would expect from REPL that shows results in line. If I send something, I need to get feedback. I don't want my REPL to get stuck. Like, if I would work inside this console, it kind of makes sense. Like, I can work around it. But if I work in the editor, I don't want to be disturbed by it. You can evaluate infinite sequences, as we have seen. It has 3 panels. What else? We have some cool features though. For example, it can evaluate inside, like, the command that evaluates top, it doesn't show errors. You see, I don't see error here, I see error here. So I kind of have to keep this panel going. Anyways, yeah, but the cool feature is, like, a top level evaluate is like this, right? But if actually do this properly, I don't do this properly, but whatever. If you're inside command form, there's a special case when you will not evaluate the top level form, which would be a command, but you will evaluate the second topmost form, which is the way you write Clojure. So I probably steal that feature eventually. They have documentation. Let me show to you. I think show information, yeah, like this. So yeah, there's and test. So lots of cool features, though I'm more happy with my own thing, I guess. So let's start nrepl, and I'm going to show you what progress have been made since last time we recorded one of those. Probably I will keep this. Right, okay, so progress, the biggest progress probably would be, actually open the log, so I think, well, the biggest progress would be probably that I implemented, okay, syntax, Clojure C, oh, I haven't connected, okay, connect. Yeah, I can show you help for forms and stuff like that as well. And the most, like, it's useful to see description, of course, but most useful part of it is probably when you want to remember the order arguments going. Like, for example, I always forget which way it is for ends, for example, and in most Clojure sequence, in most Clojure functions, collection comes second, in ends it actually comes first. So yeah, I think conch is another one where collection comes first, right? Yeah. So, like, sometimes you usually remember the thing, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want the second check, and I have actually dash for this. Recently adopted dash for it, but you have to retype it here, right? So it's a little bit slower than doing this. And we also supported special forms, we support vars. So it's pretty cool, I would say. And support Java though, so probably this would be nice as well, like thread sleep and like show help for Java methods, maybe, I don't know. I wonder if truncated does that. No, I don't wonder, really. I don't care. Okay, so what's up for today? So what's up for today is we have this problem, allow conditional reads in eval buffer, which is a pretty significant, I would say. Like, and the reason for that is I remember, so when I started working with Clojure, I used Lightable, right? Lightable is like was created long time ago, and eventually conditional reader forms or whatever. So these things came into Clojure, but they came after Lightable development stopped, so it doesn't support them, right? And you like if you have them in your code, you cannot like use Lightable REPL to evaluate your file. And here you see like I can actually, am I connected? Yeah. I can evaluate this and I get 3 correctly, right? And maybe I can do CLJS, something like that. Or I can do this, but yeah, I get the CLJ. Okay, so this works, okay? What doesn't work is if I have, it's called reader conditions. Yeah, now I remember. Let's save reader conditions .cljc. Let's call it .cljc for some reason. So yeah, so oops. Okay, so now for some reason I get to the cane. There's a way, I believe when I installed that cane it replaced my default syntax for it. And I don't remember which way is, how do you, okay, let's try this. View syntax open always current extension as to cane. Okay, so view syntax open always current extension as Clojure C. We do not want that cane, right? Okay, cool. So this works. This doesn't. Oh, this works well. What? Wait. Okay, so now I'm confused. Because if when I use it here, I usually get an error conditional read not allowed, right? So this is because it's .clj file, and this is .cljc file. What the fuck? Okay. Okay, so apparently in somewhere inside Clojure compiler there is a code that looks at file name and the code that looks at file name and it somehow decides whether you're allowed to call this or not. And the problem, okay, so I could get it, like maybe that makes sense if you have a file, like you have a buffer like this, right? And you want to evaluate it and it's not allowed. This would probably annoy me. So it's good to have confirmation that it works in this case. In this case it probably annoy me, but maybe I can live with it. I don't know. I know that load file, the way it works is by actually doing this. Clojure link compiler slash load, and it sends a file path file name, and assume somehow file name is, if file name is absent. What happens in this case? There must be default for it somewhere, right? Because okay, so what if I say blah blah? Compiler exception, compile exception, and no idea actually. Name it use. I mean, I know which name it uses here, and it's no source file. So maybe if there is no source name, we could send actually no source name dot clgc. Yeah, so this is thing that, oh my god, var push thread bindings and reader opts this reader read. So it's solely based on, okay, so let's do this. Okay, so let's go package, file, eval, and somewhere here, no, not here, eval file, this eval buffer, yeah, this one. So we have file name. Maybe we do this. Does it work? Yeah, it works now. But of course, if this, if there is an error, somehow we're going to see an error somewhere. Okay, this is going to be our next thing. But okay, we are not allowed for reader conditionals in CLJ. I can work with that, I guess. Okay, origin conditionals in eval buffer. Let's say we solve this one. Okay. It's a bit hacky, but we can always have nice things. Okay, push. So what we're going to do next, autoplayer. So this is hard. This might be not very hard, like show if some key was truncated. Display full stack trace in editor. This is just improvement. Detect and highlight error position when evaluating a buffer. So this was interesting and important. So what this means is, let's say, do we have some namespace with error? I think this one is with error. Or this one, I don't know. Let's say we have something like undefined symbol, right? And we evaluate, oops, sorry, and we evaluate it. Okay, so the way it works right now, actually highlights the whole file, which is okay, not okay, I don't know, which is fine, I guess. I don't see, it might be annoying, but I don't see like huge problems with it. But we have lost the ability to, like, we can actually maybe tie this to a specific line. Maybe. Okay, and hope that this only this line is highlighted, which is probably possible. We'll have to take a look. Handle multiple results returned from multiple forms at once. It's an interesting problem. I don't think I'm going to do anything here. Eval second topmost form inside comment. This might be easily solvable. Handle multiple evals on the same line. So yeah, this one probably will annoy me the most. Like, I can envision this annoying me the most in the future. So the problem goes like this. So I eval this, right? And we got 3 here. Then I go and eval this. And I got 2 results here. So 2 annotations for the single line. And the reason for that is, like, if I eval part of this, I destroy the region that intersects with this, but in this case these 2 regions don't really intersect, even though they're in the same line, so I don't clear the previous results. There's a code that clears previous results if they intersect, but these 2 don't intersect. So the solution would be to take beginning and expand it to a line, and take end and expand it to a line, right? So clear intervals intersecting, so this one with a function for that, and region, this is our region, extended region begin equals region begin, and there is some way to, like, can we jump to the beginning of the line of that region? I believe we can. Line, full line. Wait, what? Use the modifier of region such that it starts at the beginning of the line and ends at the end of the line. Oh yeah, this is exactly what we need, right? So we need region line. So standard region is region.line region. Okay, so and we need to compile with this thing. I said it's probably going to be super simple. Okay, something doesn't work. Region has no. Okay, yeah. Of course, it's okay, 3, 7. 3. Yeah, kind of works, right? Kind of works. Did I also showed you that I now can eval symbols, top-level symbols, not only parents, like this? There's not much use in this. Like, there's no reason to eval string or regex, for example. Symbol evals to symbol, it's not get resolved to var, right? So probably this one might be useful as top level something. This might be, this doesn't work currently. This might be somehow useful, I don't know yet, but yeah, at least it works as expected. But anyways, okay, so we handled this, right? We handled this. Handle multiple evals at the same time. Clear. It's probably should be stated as this. Okay, and we have this. Oh, this is for different scripts. Okay, another commit. The music is covering what I am saying. Okay, yeah, sure, I can make it. I can make it quieter. Is it because, like, thanks for reporting. I hear music myself, but this volume that it goes into my ears is different than the volume that goes into the stream, so I don't have real feedback here. Right. And set it to minimum here, but almost a minimum here. One day I will learn. One day it will all be decent, I suppose. I hope this is okay now. It should be better. Okay, so solve this, right? This is probably also very easy to solve. This is probably something that is necessary, like important. Let me move it higher. This is well, not that important, I guess. But easy to do, so why the hell not? So the way the evolving forms goes, if I remember correctly, we have topmost form, right? Yeah, we have it. The way it works, so this is how it works. The whole file is in the scope of source.clojure, which I'll probably rename to just Clojure, but for now it's called source.clojure. Yeah, so there is that. And once you get into somewhere, there are extra scopes, but the topmost one is always Clojure. So basically, when I stand somewhere, I just go as much left as I can until I meet like this unmodified Clojure, and until I meet unmodified Clojure in here, right? So if I am inside parents, like even on space, I'm inside several layers of brackets or parents or something. So raw Clojure, it's truly like placing a file which is top level. Okay. So the way we're going to solve it here is probably we're going to do the same, but we're going to check if our topmost form is comment. Then we probably will run it again, but only for our scope will be like double. We are going to look for source.clojure meta parents Clojure like this. So yeah, it should be simple. Let's call it, you know what? Expand until, and we call it scope. This scope we don't really need, right? So it's like okay, so this code moves the cursor one position to the left, because when I stand at the end of the form. I still want to eval it, but it's not included in the scope. So if I stand here, like basically it's scope of the character on the right of the cursor, but I want to be able to stand here and get this. Right, so this basically moves point 1 point to the left. Okay. And we can just move it in here as is and replace this with expand until viewpoint color C, and we just replace we just replace this with scope. Okay, and so we have starts with, right? So if our returned region starts with comment, what we want instead is we want return expand until closure blah blah blah, and the scope would be method.parents.closure, method.parents.closure, like this. So like this, yes. Okay, so for print ln it didn't work for some reason. Okay, so this is crazy. So something didn't work. For this it worked, for this it didn't work, right? Because it selected way too much. Why? So I imagine we go here and we inside meta parents closure, still inside meta parents closure, and now we are outside of it. Okay. Okay. So the problem is that we don't have this stage. Because it ends with also it has punctuation, as you can see. Nice. So if I do this, it would work. Yeah, it works. So yeah, the exit condition is not entirely correct. That's interesting. How should we solve this? Two options. You can hardcore this. No, okay, actually, I need. I need both this and this to work. So this doesn't work. This works. In this way we have meta parents closure, right? So we can just We can pass set, right? Python has sets, right? Use a new set for that object which another taken from each variable. Yeah, probably should frozen set. Okay, so if you use curly braces, so we kind of use it like this. And our alternative is punctuation.section.parents.end.closure. Okay, so this is pretty long. Can I copy from here? Oh, I can kind of copy. Right, and here we have scopes. Kind of like that. Okay, so for comment it produces very strange result. Here also I'm not sure what happened right now. So I evaluated comment, evaluated comment, and in our case it was like this. And we didn't get any value back because evaluating comment probably evaluates to nothing, right? Check that I'm using nope, I'm not using the correct mic, and I'm not using the correct output as well. Okay. Now I am. I hate when it happens, but what can you do? Yeah, we have. The problem is with. I have to disconnect now. Because my clear doesn't clear some pending evaluations, which we'll probably have to work with somehow. So my problem here is if I eval comment itself, right, something weird happens. And this is not what we want. Mr. FSXI. Hi. Hey guys, hi. Okay, welcome to the stream. Yeah. So what we need is I need to check that point is like lies point is bigger than region begin plus stand here if I stand here. kind of like this, right? So if I eval this, I will comment, I will comment, I will comment, I will comment. Okay. I will nothing. Okay. This works, I guess. Okay, this is weird now. It's like a lot of special casing, but I think it's totally okay. So yes, it looks weird, but who cares, really, right? The important thing is it works. And it only happens if we are inside region, inside comment, sorry. But it's a nice thing to have anyways. Okay, eval second topmost form, comment, let's commit this. Stage, stage, stage. There's also another thing which is like I doubt anybody is doing something like that. So now we want you can do that this, and in this case you actually kind of don't want that. This would matter if we are evaling, I don't know, innermost form. If we're talking of topmost form, it doesn't really matter, but it's good to have this case, special case as well. Okay, eval second topmost form, yeah, we need to amend that. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, I like how features are flowing. This one is important, really, because it's an edge case, right? And it would happen at some point. I would eval comment, and I don't want my system to be stuck like that. It's not fun, not good. So what happens in this case, we don't get any value back at all. We get only status message, and so far I've been ignoring statuses. You can say it evals to nil, because it doesn't. Like, it evals to nothing. It's a special case in Clojure because it's handled on a reader level, and like when it reads nothing. There's actually another way to do this. I believe you can do something like this. Huh. Okay, I guess there's a special case for this. This println should have printed just empty string. Yeah, okay, whatever. So yeah, okay, it's not like top level. Yeah, this is a weird special case, but this is also on Clojure guys, not on me. So that I guess so that you don't get like multiple defs in here, I don't know, for some reason. Not interested, really. Okay, but the way we want this to work out is we want to actually handle statuses, right? So if we get status done and status, okay, if we don't have sorry, blushing, what we have here, we have pending ID somewhere, and if we get status but we don't get any value and it's still pending, so see if status and message, oh, we clear pending ID, but actually what we should do here is actually check. So there is a value with new and then status done. Okay, so what we should do actually is try to figure out if there's eval associated with this pending ID and maybe clear it out. And I think I have something like that. Clear evals, view. Eval intersecting and eval, no. Okay, maybe we need clear eval self ID, right? If ID in evals, eval equals evals ID. Oh no. Oh no, it's alright. So if we have that, we probably want eval view erase regions eval key, and then del self evals ID. So this is clear eval. We put it in here. Right. Okay, and let's try to write this. Does it work? Does it work? Evals not defined. Okay. I forgot self somewhere. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. And I get nothing. So maybe, actually, you know what? Maybe we should code these bugs. They're all, hello, welcome back to the stream. How you doing? You know what? Maybe I would like to add something but without annotation, like wow. The pending and this is something like this. Maybe what I actually want is have a green region. I'd actually prefer maybe something like that. We do it like this, okay. No. or yes? Okay. Wait, what? Huh. So the problem is that this dot doesn't disappear, right? It's unfortunate. Well, let us try and use this instead. It still doesn't disappear. What if I put nothing in here? Okay, so nothing does replace it, but if I use the empty string, it does not replace it. Okay, this is very annoying. What if I clear interval first? It's not right. Because I removed clear eval, right? So let's say we what if we do it like that, okay? So this might work, right? No, maybe because of that. Okay, now we have this. We can get this very quick. So this way we have some feedback, right? So like this was sent, but maybe nothing happened and there is no response to report. Okay, now I got all responses disappearing. Wait, what? Okay, I know why, I think. Yeah, I know what why it disappears. So what we want to do is we actually want to let's see. So we only need to do that if it's not already been replaced by value with blue, with green or red, right? So if id in con evals and view How do I? No, con eval equals con evals id if what I think eval dot scope eval dot scope equals bluish this. So this way we get responses and we get nails. That's not good. Why we are getting nails? I don't understand it. I'm not supposed to get nails. Like there's nowhere. Okay, we get nails for comments for some reason. Maybe it's okay. Well, if comment is a macro, it's not allowed to return nothing. This. No, I probably don't want. I just want to erase it. Really. Just want to erase it. I don't want comments to be highlighted that way. Yes? No? Clear all. Yeah, so let's just clear all. I don't want this. Clear all ID, okay. Let's check. Yes, yes, yes. Kind of works, right? At least we don't get stuck with what. Cool. Let's commit this. No comments. Another special case. Yoo-hoo! So this part we are not going. This part we are not going to implement until very late. This one is important, so I probably should start working on this one. This is pretty important and this is pretty important. This is probably not very important. Okay, so let's say this and then maybe this. So this is important for productizing. So when I make it into a product so that you can be installed, probably what I'm going to do is to move syntax definitions from Sublime Clojure to here. So that will be a single package. Syntax highlighting and REPL. Kind of the same way it is for .cane, because we rely on REPL so much for navigating in code. So, yeah. Okay, so remove results from region is modified. So this is tricky and scary kind of stuff. And what I mean by that is, so say you have I like that you can relate infinite sequences really. No. in this code. Okay, so what I mean by that is, so let's say I evaluate this, right? What I now want to, then I go here and I change, for example, this, right? So this is probably not okay. If I insert string here or insert string here, this is okay, or insert here. But this is okay. This is okay as well. But it probably would be too hard to figure out if like semantically they're equivalent or not. So the idea is whenever I change code inside one of those regions, we remove this region, right? So the problem is, of course, how we identify what was changed, and this means that we want to get probably into events. So this event listener, right? And this tells you what happens in a view probably. So blah blah blah, revert, called when view is reverted, remove, call try before view is moved between two windows, close for save, modified. Okay, so probably code or change has been made of view, runs separate thread and doesn't lock the application, on selection modified, on activated, deactivated, on hover, on query context, on query context. Okay, so code can be context. Yeah, well, okay, so I don't know what it means. Text command, post text command, your window, pre-close. So probably what we need is on modified. Let's see if we have any examples of this. Modified async. Get gadget grows modified on stdout because the visibility check files. Okay, so what that kind does, it basically removes everything. Right? Modified async. Clear. Interesting. So we don't have any good examples, really. So we have unmodified event. Okay. But what was modified? So we kind of want, we're not going to run diff, right? How are we going to figure out what was modified really? I don't know. Well, one solution might be if you just remember the text inside each region and you just compare them, right? Compare it with the previous value. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so let's try that and just see how it performs. If it performs poorly, we just will ignore it. Okay, so unmodified, probably async, self view. Yeah. So another thing that we don't do very well right now, don't store. That's okay, I guess. Okay, modified. So what I'm going to do is do this, and the place when we create eval, we are going to do this. We use substring. And here we are going to put region in. Okay, so basically we just remember what the code was look like when we store this. Okay, and def clear change modified. Okay, modified self view. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going for like this for ID eval in eval items. So now we have eval if eval view equals eval view, right? So only considering the regions in the current view. Now if eval code not equals view substring. Okay, so here's the trick. We cannot use region from eval. We have to view get regions. We have get regions eval. Okay. Kind of like this. If there is a region so if code was changed, we just clear eval ID, right? So erase region and delete. Oh, kind of, we can copy it here. Okay. I think it looks okay-ish. Clear modified and con clear modified view. Might get slow if we have lots of. Okay, let's have multiple. All right. And then change this one. Cool. Kind of works. I know. Kind of works, I think. Exceptions? Let's try exceptions, yeah. Sure. Okay, you know what I want to try? Kind of works, yes. There's no exceptions. Cool. Cool. It was easier than I imagined. And kind of a more important feature, right? So let's keep it. Stage. Hopefully it will work performant enough. So edge case would be when you have lots of regions. Actually, let's try to evaluate the file and then change something in the file. Kind of works. Okay. If there are lots of regions and on each change you kind of going to well, it's a sync, so it shouldn't stop typing or anything, right? So, cool. This kind of goes hand in hand. This one, well, it basically means just to show. Let's do this actually, you know. What I mean is when we show here, I would probably put just the 3 dots at the end. And the way it works is truncated-keys value. Okay. And assume that another situation where this might be important is something like this, right? So in this case, we should probably see... this is our exception. We have truncated keys, which has different key in their X data. Well, okay, so the way it works, I suppose, is pretty simple. If we have, we're just going to modify the message itself, right? So we have a message here. We probably don't care if we modify it or not. So kind of like this. If truncated keys, so where this was it? This. If this, oh, we actually can go for key in message get message key. That? Something didn't work, right? Non-type object is not iterable, yes, of course. And we hover, we see dot dot dot, right? For here, we see dot dot dot, which is fine by me. Yeah, we cannot do this like because this is dynamic, and we have stuff which, but it was pretty easy. Okay, let's commit this while we can. Pretty nice, I would say, and also kind of let's actually put somewhere differences from .k, right? Differences from .k. Okay, so one difference would be can eval non-eval formed forms. Confuse us even Sublime. Okay. Can eval infinite sequences. Because it's some, like, if you work with Clojure, sooner or later you will have to deal with infinite sequences, right? It happens. And if you accidentally evaluate something infinite and your REPL like gets stuck because of that, you have to restart it. It's like, it's not very good experience in my book. Does not have REPL panel. Separate REPL panel. Redirects all stdout into system out. System out. Okay, this is another thing that we can do. What else? What's our advantages? print exception data. This way. So in topmost, like the advice is to try to do this. Okay. You don't see the full exception, of course. You can see data in here, right? But in my opinion, this is like much more useful than this. Like I don't probably care necessarily for lots of stuff in here. Yeah. And there's some stuff repeats, right? So you see data here, you see data here. There's no source file for some reason, even though there is source file, of course. So yeah, this is kind of not very good. Let's keep it this here. Differences to topmost interpolation. So this is kind of difference from topmost, so I can eval this and eval this. In topmost, if I remember correctly, let's check actually, let's go and check. Why guess, right? We will have to syntax. Control-C, Control-A, oops. Yeah, you see, once I eval something or type something, the other gets removed. And eval gets sent to here, so yeah, the way doc strings evaluated in the way doc strings are formatted in Clojure, it's a horrible mess. There's no like, it's a mess. Like there are like line breaks at random intervals, like you have to guess this indentation, for example, and there is no clear markup for code, no real rules for how this is formatted. So here, for example, there are 2 white spaces for some reason. Actually, you know what, I might want to place this with 1 white space, to be honest, because I hate this kind of stuff. Also here, see, this uses spaces for indentation, and this uses tab. These 2 lines use tab. Yeah, kind of not cool. It's a mess, it's a huge mess. Maybe 2 white spaces mean like a new paragraph. Returns a keyword with the given namespace and name if one already exists. this function. So find keyword, for example, yes. Let's put it in here. So here we see two white spaces. We also see now like a white space before colon, which is very bad. I wonder if there is no. Yeah, there's white space between dot before dot, but what the fuck with this equals and comma? Oh my god. So for example, like here, clearly this is one paragraph and this is supposed to be another paragraph, right? So, but there's no way to like figure that out. So good luck. Or here, for example. Like your only guess would be that the line is somewhat much shorter. But for example, here you see, oh no, I don't know. Maybe at some point I will write better format for this mess, but I have a feeling that it's best just left as it is. Okay, let's see how our let's connect. Format this, so we don't do double white spaces, it appears. The problem with this is, of course, that in sometimes like double white space in here, it's at the beginning of the line, which should be just removed probably, right? Okay, let's put it in here, clean up formatting of Clojure doc strings. Maybe at some point, okay? Display full stack trace in editor. So what I meant by that is sometimes you get an exception like this, but maybe you want to see what actually happened here, right? And you can actually go here and you will see this. This is our exception, printed with Java. Maybe we want better printer for Clojure exceptions, kind of, why not? I wonder why if yeah, it's pretty cool non-black color here. Okay, so clearly we're using compiler.eval and compiler.java. So let's go here and see if wait, how is it? It was 7,000 something, right? Okay, deprecated error message. So it probably uses this object form. Okay. So what we're trying to fix is, I don't know what we're trying to fix really. Let's start with a simpler one, right? Let's start with this one. So we run this and get runtime exception, which is fair enough. We also get this. This is our runtime exception, and it is wrapped. No, it's not wrapped. Eval. We have middleware somewhere, right? We have this root cause, and maybe so. What the problem here is for me? It seems like this will go through interruptible eval, which what it should go through is load file actually. This is weird. Let me check. So eval buffer goes through load file. We do have wrap load file, right? So, but wrap load file actually what it does, it modifies command, and it sends to eval really. It's written eval. We're trying to eval like this part. I'm not sure why it has to do this way. Like, why not load like right here for them, right? Well, there's probably good reasons for that. I kind of got tired of music. It gets a little bit in my way. So what I'm trying to understand is when we print an exception here, is it like the core exception, or does it have a cause, or I don't know. So what I mean is, do compiler kind of wraps it in compiler exception or not, right? So who prints this exception? Who prints this exception? Actually, you know what? Let's go in here and say print stack trace. We probably want something like this. Okay, so that we don't we actually see what's going on. Okay, so let's eval this file. Did we get those? No, we didn't get those. Probably because I haven't reloaded it. Okay. So we do have this message, right? So syntax error compiling something and then this. Okay, and I messed up. Print, yeah, okay, this is where I messed up. Okay. This is a lot of errors, really. Okay, I think I got in some sort of infinite loop or something. Okay, that's not fortunate. Okay, so this didn't work because something happened somewhere, right? Huh. Let me see what the actual response is in that case. So we do this load file, right? We get this out, we get this out again. We get multiple outs, okay. And then we get this, and this is compiler exception, really? Yes. And compiler exception, actually, it's interesting beast, right? Because it has source and line and data. Okay, so when instance throwable Clojure link compiler exception, right? So we have source, line, and data. Okay, so source, line, kind of like this. Okay, so we don't need probably this. Let's see. I didn't start nrepl. Let's do this. Let's do connect. Okay. Let's see what happened. We didn't get any response at all because cast exception can be cast to class. Huh. What? Instance. Use X and test if it is an instance of the class C, return true or false. Oh, class goes first. Okay. Yeah. I should probably use this. And at some point I probably will. Okay, let's try it again. We got this. Oh, what we're actually interested is our info, right? So there's some data. Okay. There is this line and there is source. User stones key vs Sublime Clojure REPL test. Huh. The source is very much wrong. The line is on point, I would say. Okay. And data, I'm going to get column, rotate column is wrong as well. Why is that? And what the fuck is test? Okay, let me just for my sanity, I want to see what we are sending. I could probably see that easier. Okay, so path is our folder and file name is, so it reports. Okay. Okay, so the path is like full path to a file. So I treated it wrong, so I should have used it like that. I probably don't need that. Okay, so let's say we eval file again. So now we kind of get the correct source file, we get the correct line number, we get kind of wrong column, column is 3 in this case, but undefined definitely starts here, but 1, 2, 3, so probably it probably points to let because let failed. Error, let me rename it to error undefined. Let's also, it has a type of error that we might encounter is just incorrectly placed, something like this, right? Okay, error syntax. So what happens? I mentioned limiter, and do we get compiler exception? We do actually, and we kind of even get it somewhere reasonably. Okay, I wonder if it's possible for cross-file errors. I don't know. Okay. Image delimiter. So what I'm thinking of is, in case we have compiler exception like this, right? We might actually report line and column and in the error itself. Right? So we can send this. So phase is read in our case, and syntax check. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do so because we have our own middleware, right? So in our case, we are going to build a map called location, and it will be line, which is probably just line either Z okay, it's either Z or line closure error / line x data thermal. Okay, column kind of we don't have it in compiler exception, but we have it here. So we have source or file. Let's call it source because it's called source. So it's either this is source or kind of the same, right? It's instead of line, it's like this. And we kind of merge this map. Okay, so that we have this info. Let's say we send it like this, and let's see if we have, no, not here. We have sent the whole file. We send the whole file, and in our case, we still get info. Okay. So we have line, we have column. So the only question is so if we have line, we do this. You messed up somewhere. Yeah, probably here. If we have line and if we have column, we do this, right? Okay, let's go. No. You can't concatenate ints. Okay, so your Python, you should be able to concatenate anything really. Okay, so we are at 4.3. Do we want to maybe okay, maybe what we do want instead is highlight this line, right? At least. Of course, if our middleware for some reason doesn't work. Okay, so now if so now we have to figure out how to convert between lines and points. Choose the lines that contains a point. Okay, so I have row call, which converts point to lines. We need the other way around, right? Yeah, there's text point. Okay, so calculate the character setting given the call. Call is interpreted as a number of Unicode characters at once. Okay, so we probably need this. Probably need this even. Point equals text point. Oops. UTF-16. View row line column. So it says this. They're zero based, even though I think they report it as, like, if it's 0, this is 1, this is 2, it's reported 3. So they're more like 1 based, so we probably need to do this. Okay, so our region would be Sublime region between point and view line point end, right? So kind of like this. Let's see. Boom. Okay. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Yeah. Okay, so it's kind of at 514, 514. Wait, what? So here it's kind of correct. Here it's kind of incorrect-ish, because we subtracted 1 the column. So if I didn't subtract 1, what would happen? It would be wrong, right? Yeah, it's even worse. Okay, who cares? Who knows? I assume it's not an exact science, but so in case here, we don't really need to report them if we already have them, right? Oh my god, I just evaled what? I evaled the whole of Clojure core. Okay, it worked. Okay, that's a good check. Never expected to work, really. Yeah, here we have to wait 10 seconds because I have a loop in here which delays stuff. Here, for example, it missed the line. Actually, wait, what? So instead of going for this line, it went for different lines. Probably let me make it like this. So maybe I shouldn't. Boom. I assume it's a mess. Okay, let's also have clamp true, I think. No. Clamp column, right? A bool if call it should be restricted to valid value before given row. 4875. Which version do I have? How is it supposed to work? Right. Oh, because the line is no. Okay, we'll never know why it's so wrong. Whatever, but somehow it works, right? So we actually report kind of stuff. Okay, so one thing that I'm not sure about is what if we do require error undefined. Undefined exception, blah blah blah. Okay. Whatever. Okay, let's leave it at this for now. Maybe later we will figure out what's going on, but for now I'm pretty happy. If it's not a compiler exception, we don't get line and column number, but if it is compile exception, I get a highlight of what is wrong, right? This looks useful, at least for me. Boom. And because it's part of the previous region, I suppose it should remove it as fixed file name, right? Lock. We have this, we have this, we have this. Okay, cool. Pretty cool, I think. This was important. So more or less, I think we are almost good for making a release out of it. Like, probably the last very useful feature that I would like to have is this. I have to think how to properly display it. But maybe it's not that really useful. You can always, like, if you have an exception, right, and you don't know what's going on, you go here and here, and you see this. Wait, what? This is not much, actually. Okay, now you see an exception. Now you see an exception. Okay. Yeah, you see exception. So you can go here, right? So ideally, I would what? And also probably at least up to here, it's not important. Probably up to here it's not important. Like, it's most of this is not important really. But say let's say we have a file that does, for example, ns stacktraces. So we have f, which stacktraces LGC. We have f, which something like this. We have say we have g that calls f. We have h, which calls g, and we call h at the end, right? So we have this, and if you go here, what we see is something like this, right? So we have exception info, error, data, which is all good, and we get full exception. So the problem with that is, well, first is this, right? So we know these are Clojure source files, so probably we don't really, we want to see Clojure stack trace somehow. That's the first, right? So ideally, somehow, maybe we want better exceptions. This can be actually probably improved somehow with, I bet there are libraries that convert Clojure exceptions to some reasonable way. But yeah, but the other thing is like this part, like up to here. We don't really care at all, right? Because this is the evals that we invoke. We can pretty much probably cut from starting from here. This would work for any code evaluated from editor, because it all goes through the same stuff. Can we? I'm wondering if we can actually programmatically somehow construct an exception. Okay, let me put it in here somewhere. Better formatter for exceptions, and maybe remove. Yeah, okay, it's better format for exception. Okay. Display full stack trace. So the thing I was thinking here is maybe, you know, how we can. So this is exception. Oh, this is exception, right? And in theory, you should be some, I don't know. Let's create main function here. Something like this. I don't know. Like. You can even see doc strings here. Whatever. Yeah. Ideally, when this happens, for example, I want to press a single button and see the full stack trace in here. This would require like different sort of. We cannot do it from this. It's possible, but there is different sort of stuff we can do, and that would be fun. No, not phantoms. Or phantoms. Yeah, it would be phantoms. And we are going the phantom space below the current line, left line with the region. This phantom space below the current line, left line with the beginning of the line. Okay, so we probably need this. And we can actually do that, I think. We just need the stack trace, right? Okay, and we can probably have it somehow. It might be truncated. Yeah, let's take a short break, and it's been 2 hours, so I'm gonna get something to drink, and we will see if we can print exception in here. Like, first thing I want is to just to see how it looks, and then maybe we'll do something with it. Okay, be back soon. 50, okay. Okay, we are back. Let me make it probably even quieter. The music just feels some pauses, but a bit in the way. How many people? Do we have anybody left even? 11 viewers. Cool, cool. Thank you guys for sticking up with me. We are continuing developing a REPL for Sublime Text. I think it's taking shape. I think it's almost ready, really. And the problem I want to work right now, probably the last problem that I want to work before making it a product, is displaying stack traces, right? And stack traces is basically, let's close this, let's close this, let's close everything after as well. So stack traces, like you see, oh my god, this is wrong. Okay, so you get exception here, but you don't know where it comes from, and you probably want to trace it somehow. And right now you have to go in here, and you have sometimes you don't have stack. This is like, maybe this is a problem of this terminal plugin, terminus. But normally you have stack traces, you have your data, and you can trace kind of where it comes from, like this. Okay, and what I want is to take this and put it in here. Like, let me first check that we don't have anything pending. Yeah, no, we committed everything. Okay, cool. So fresh start. Okay, so what I want is a button to click so that you can see your stack trace right here, because as I said, I don't like switching to other panels. We probably do need to do that to switch to to see stdout, but for exceptions maybe it would be easier to see it here. And the ways, for example, maybe we could have a command that expands exception. The only problem with that, it's not problem really. Okay, let's go and write really short command. Show expand exception command. Okay, and what we will do is, first thing that we need to do is to find a region that corresponds to it. So yeah, let's call it region self point, kind of, right? And to find the region, you basically go to con. This is for con evals, eval and con evals, eval view point, eval view equals view, regions equals, well, you know what, maybe it's time we write this function, because it keeps popping up, right? So basically what it does is it returns a region for this eval. And we need self view get regions self key. We get regions, and when regions equal 1, return region 0. So this is our way to get region. We replace it here. Region is eval region. Okay. Same here. Eval region. If region. Okay, do we have... Yeah, okay, this seems like a really popular pattern. Okay, but I discovered. Okay, so if eval and if region and region intersects with, oh no, I think it's contains, right? Contains, yes, contains. Contains point. Return eval. Okay. Let's call it find eval actually. Okay, so our eval equals find eval self view. We probably want to do this when we have this. Like we have single selection, okay. Self view cell 0 begin, okay. No, you know what? It's okay. So if eval, so if we have this eval, right? What we want probably to do with it is to add a phantom. To do this, we need to get this phantom, and to do this, we need to put it somehow in there, right? So what I'm thinking of is we have this middleware here, right? So maybe we put stack trace in the message as well. I don't know why it's not here. It's kind of bumps me that you know, that nrepl sends you like multiple messages when it wants to communicate like single thing. It's kind of makes it trickier to handle. And the stack trace is one of those cases, right? So somehow we want to print stack trace. How can we print stack trace to, okay, let me Java print stack trace. Okay, we have print stream or print writer. Oh, this is okay. I wonder what is difference. Okay, so yeah, writer is and now writer. Okay, if I make buffered writer, can I get... No, not this one. Can I get string out of it? No, right? But I can do without string. Okay, yeah, we can do this. Trace without str, and here we do print stack trace. And we use print writer, right? So we'll get string writer, and we need print writer, which is like, what the fuck? Buffered writer is not a print writer. Oh my fucking god. But okay, well, maybe say root, and here Java you print writer out, right? So it should work, right? Okay, this might be truncated though, but might be not. Let's see. Let's eval this. And region is not defined. Okay, so we messed up somewhere. Line 18. Of course. It's now. We sent something and nothing came back. Right. I'm thinking of making reconnect command actually. Okay. Because this has to be conditioned like this. Maybe we should have a reconnect command. It would solve some of our difficulties. Disconnect. So reconnect would do disconnect and then do connect host port, right? Reconnect command, we go in here, disconnect, reconnect. We don't need a key map for that. Let's put somewhere in here, command, okay, let's see. Boom, it worked. Cool. And let's see what we print out. So this exception for blah blah blah. Message trace, and this is our trace, right? And I don't see actually truncated keys or anything, so it's kind of good, I think. So we get our trace. Okay, cool. So since we have trace, we have to actually, you know what, we have to remember it somehow, right? And add eval text. But what do we need? We need have it like this, right? And we can change it later. So basically what I want to do in here is if our trace is a message, colon evals id trace equals message trace. Would it be simpler if I do it like this? I don't know. Okay, in theory we have our trace this way, stored at least. Right. Right. This is two identical. Only region is different. Right. Okay, and now we have our command that does if eval and eval trace. So if we have this stored, right? If we have some trace for it, what we can do is, let's say if we need this, certainly view equals view. So we need add there is add phantom method, but for some reason it's not documented, and it requires apparently key, region, HTML, and layout. Okay, this works for me. And in our case it will be key, Sublime point eval stack eval trace, and layout is this one. Okay. So this is what we are going to do. And yeah, I need to put it in the command expand exception. Show trace. It's called show trace. Toggle trace. Toggle trace, because it will hide and show and hide it, right? And we need a button for it, and I'm thinking of Control E. Like this, yes, yes, yes. Okay, that's well. Okay, nothing happens. Find evals not defined. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. But we don't really need it, right? What kind of do? So int object has no attribute view. Okay. Eval. With view. What do you mean? What do you mean? Am I calling this wrong? Like self.find eval. I'm not supposed to put self in here, right? Oh, I know what's going on. I'm iterating wrong. What we need is like list like the keys, but we need, yeah, we need that. We need values basically. Like this. We are iterating by keys. Okay. Okay, let's try it again and again. And now frozen can assign to field trace in. Oh. Okay, so this didn't work. But we can put we can make it like this, and in here kind of like this, right? So trace equals boom. It looks ugly. I'll give you that. It looks ugly, but it kind of does what we want. Also, like remember when I tested that cane earlier today. For some reason they do it, something like this. And you move cursor, it jumps to the end of the file. Luckily, this seems to be something that cane does, not Sublime. So for Sublime, this is okay, yeah. And we need somehow a way to get find. Okay, let's add phantom, erase phantoms, and what I'm curious is get phantom. Okay, let me print something like get phantoms with the ID, right? So the reason I'm doing this because we need to figure out if it's opened or not. Let's eval. Let's get phantoms. There's no such thing. Okay. Get phantom. No. Can we print methods on an object? Python print methods object. Yeah, something like this probably. Dear object. So I suppose we're supposed to call. Not sure what this is. Okay, so this looks like what we want. So we have query phantom and query phantoms, okay. Can I get now we need this. So I suppose it's inspect.signature. Sublime view. Okay, let me try it. Inspect. Sublime view query. Okay. Okay, so fair enough. Let's see what query phantom does. Query phantom. Okay. Yes. Do this. Let's see. An integer is required. Got type str. Huh. Okay. So I suppose we have to remember if we showed phantom somewhere or not. Because I have no idea what speed is. Sublime Clojure phantom. This is not very helpful. Okay. So it gets integer ID. Okay. This is not SMD pop-ups now, but okay. So it's supposed to be integer. Well, actually, you know what? We can make it integer if we use it like this. Alright. Eval has no attribute ID. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. You know what does have attribute ID? String required. Okay, so so to add phantom, okay, let's just see if it, yeah, it returns actually some numbers. So we have to remember this ID, right? Frozen. So let's do this. ID int, right? Trace ID int equals none. So by default it is none, and what we're going to do here is eval trace ID equals this. We don't really care about this ID, not really. Okay, so if eval trace ID, what we want to do is we want to erase phantom. Something else. Okay, so we introduce key or ID. Otherwise we do this. Okay. We don't care about key in that case, right? So we kind of can use. Okay, so this is getting kind of ridiculous, but yeah, probably it's reopen this. Okay, kind of works, right? Then we need to format stack trace. So trace. Okay, we need HTML, and for HTML we need equals eval trace replace /n with br, right? And HTML.escape, this is what we need, what we want to do. Body escape. Kind of like this, okay? So click, nothing happens. No, this way actually. Enter, Control E. Okay, this looks more like something, right? The line height is off. Not sure if I can fix that. I was about to say that I like that, yeah, the background is correct color, but it isn't. Okay, so maybe we use something like so we need some style. Like this, right? For example, something like this. Okay, what we're going to do is, sorry, I need to fix something, and this clear evals in view and clear evals. If eval trace ID, eval view erase from top, eval trace ID. Okay. Probably something like this. So it's called erase because this is what it's called. Okay, seems like something. Okay, let's say, yeah, it disappears. Cool. So our ultimate goal is that this thing doesn't get stuck. Okay, another thing that I want to actually replace is does it take regular expressions? No, right? Okay. Search sub. Pattern string represents the leftmost non-overlapping occurrences of pattern in string by the REPLs. Okay, so we call count function string function string other known is maximum number of pattern count must be a non-negative integer. If I need to zero, I will replace it. Okay, so we probably need this. Okay, so what I want to do is replace a sub, our pattern is going to be slash any number of white spaces, right? We want to replace it with well, really, it's probably gonna be this string 1. Okay. No, it didn't work. Maybe like this. No. Actually, let's see. Let's take a look. Oh, because slash t. Okay, so it's because slash t. It's uses tabs. Okay. Well, that makes it even easier. We are going to use this, and we don't need count really. Yeah, I'll probably settle for 2 white spaces instead of 4. The other thing is, as I mentioned, we probably want to remove add closure length completely. Well, it's probably better done here. Let's do when root, right? Trace. I can copy it from here. It's pretty soon. Yeah, basically this. We want this. Dot star. We don't want this. I know this doesn't mean anything, right? Kind of like this. Kind of like this didn't work. Okay, something didn't work. They have syntax error in there or what? Non-object. What? Oh, no such namespace str. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Clojure string. Boom. Right. Can't work. Because it's not multi-line. So there is a thing. I need this, maybe, I don't know. Let's see. No, it didn't work. This has no special meaning, right? Okay, something definitely happened here. We have removed 2 lines of text, it seems. Something didn't work. Yeah, because we did have this. Lever K for okay, it worked. Boom. Isn't it beautiful? I think it is. I think it is. And we can toggle it, right? Like this. Okay, so there is the thing that I think we have to do now is we have to query those two properties, line padding bottom and line padding top. Setting. Okay, so we can go get settings, and settings is get. Okay, cool. This line padding top. Okay, let's see if we can actually have if we can pull this off. Settings equals view settings. Top equals settings get line padding top. Bottom equals this. Okay, and let's say 0. Okay, let's see if it works, right? Yeah, it works. Okay, cool. Now somehow we need to add it to each line, which is not trivial to do, because in HTML you have line height, but you cannot specify just leading. But if you make each of those its own paragraph, right? Padding top. Top pixels, like we're going to do this. Padding top pixels, padding bottom pixels. Okay, so like this we have this style, and now what we want to do is like styles body equals eval trace HTML escape eval trace. We have split, right? Split on /n, and what we want to do is join p plus line plus p, right? Or either like this for line in. This our join, right? Or okay, let's do this. So body equals like this for line in Actually, let's do it simpler. So we take trace, we do some line equals opening paragraph plus line replace, or rather sub, or let's actually replace line replace slash t with this 2, right? Plus this. Kind of, right? Right? Right. Did I forget something? I don't know. I think not. I think not. Let's see. Maybe it's supposed to be like this. Yeah, it's more like, that's more like it. We still don't have some extra space at top or at the bottom. That's more like it, right? Or we can do it like this. It's kind of the same, but now they collapse. Nah. And we probably want this here as well. Yeah, kind of like this. Cool. I think it's cool. In fact, we can probably get rid of this eval as well. I wonder why like H has no source file, even though it's defined right here. Right. No, now it has source. Oh, it'd be probably because I evaluated it directly. Like, let's see if I do this. Fuck, wait, what? Now I cannot evaluate. Name regions is not defined in line 72. Okay, fair enough. Okay, this should be better. Okay, so if I defined here, we have no source file, right? But if I do this, we have source file. Okay, so like evaling define removes source file info. Even though we are supplying it, we actually are supplying it, I'm pretty sure of it. Like when we do eval, like here, right? We are supplying namespace, line, column, session, code op. We don't supply files though. Oh no, we do supply file, like file name. Oh. Eval Maybe it's wrong. Oh, it's fine. Okay, whatever. But you know what? We should figure out. Maybe we should cut this crap here as well. But this is trickier. This would be trickier because this is what existing nrepl middleware does, not us. But okay, but we want to change when eval inc form source file info gets lost. We don't want that, right? I mean, if we eval h here, we want it to have source info. Like, actually, let's see here. It actually has file. What the fuck? Very strange, but anyways, info when evaluating form source file name gets lost in stacktraces. This is probably something like, I don't know even what it is, but this part I like. Well, I don't know, seems to work, and I think it's pretty damn cool that it works. And of colors, so from this point, this is like only slight improvements, like polishing. So what we should do instead probably is make product out of it. Put it on package control, merge with syntax highlighter, stuff like that. Okay, it's been 3 hours. I'll probably stop here for now. Thank you for watching. I hope it was interesting enough. I think we covered most of the use cases, and like I like the look of it. Probably on GitHub it looks even better, right? Right. It's kind of gray, which just sucks, but yeah. Anyways. Looks pretty great, I would say. I probably should merge it with Sublime Clojure and make it package out of it. Maybe convert those into issues. Maybe introduce some options, blah, 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 blah. So this maybe should be like a section called y nrepl, and this should be here. And I should put some screenshots in here. Okay, I'm going to end here, but thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and I can sense that release is going to be pretty soon. Bye bye.